something that might happen, and you and I have both heard these objections from both executives and from some of our hiring managers, is when you're thinking about building that diverse pipeline, we'll hear this objection of, well, I need to balance hiring the headcount that I need with building these diverse teams. Can you share your point of view on that?
Yeah. That's I have that conversation a lot. I'm sure a lot of you are thinking about this, right? Because that's why we're having this conversation to begin with. So there's hiring for velocity, hiring for diversity. Why are we talking about them in two different conversations or two different initiatives? They're not. And if you have your mindset like that, you'll never be able to move the needle in a meaningful way, right? Whether it's in getting executive buy-in, getting the board there, whether you're talking as a recruiter to your hiring manager or as a hiring manager, you're talking to your VP of engineering, whoever it is, the more that you keep these two buckets separate, you're not going to make the progress that you're looking for. Yeah. So instead, reframe it. If you're focused on, if you're having that conversation, the good news is that you're really got a lot of great intent. You want to actually hire for diversity, right? So that's there. And that's the challenging piece that you're trying to solve for. So then just think about it as, how do we create more velocity to hire for diversity? Now you just made it one initiative and that's it. So when you're talking to somebody, think of it that way. And you know what, like you might say philosophically, like, that sounds great, Ragini, but like, I really have to get engineers in and you have to have those conversations. And then as a business, you have to understand the trade-offs and do that, right? Like, I think people typically are just like, well, you feel kind of that, well, I don't have a choice. I have goals, I have KPIs, I have OKRs, I just have to do it. But how were they set initially? Were any of these things actually a part of those discussions before those KPIs and OKRs are set? So if you don't feel like you're empowered to do that, or that you're trying to have those conversations and folks aren't listening, next time there's planning, bring it up in the room or ask your VP of engineering to bring it up in the room. So you can actually shift it at some point, right? Don't just keep on, it's kind of like them being just kind of a hamster. I hate saying it like that, but a hamster on the wheel, just doing the same thing over and over again. And guess what? Then a year goes by and you've added 200 people or whatever your goals are, maybe even just 10 people, which makes an impact, quite honestly, because the first 100 at a firm, to shift it the way we have it. I'm so glad that I've been at a firm for 4.5 years to see that progress. It took a long time and a lot of conversations and a lot of reminders. So it was not easy. So what I'm positioning here is something that you have to work on all the time. And like I said, like, I still have those conversations. We're in the middle of headcount planning now for the next fiscal year, and I'm having those conversations again. So it never ends. You just have to, if you really want to make progress.